What's going on, Genius Nation? It's your man, Dr. Will, and you guys know the deal. Let me know what city, what state, what country you are chiming in from. Even if you're watching this on the replay, let me know what city, what state, what country you are chiming in from. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscription button, hit the notification button, all those things that make the algorithm go pop. Welcome to Daily Insights with Dr. Will. I'm Dr. Will. Welcome to a magnificent Monday. I hope you had a fantastic weekend doing whatever you did this weekend, but now it's time to get it in. It's a brand new week. So let's get right into it. But before I get right into it, I want to share with you guys a brand new tool that we released over the weekend. It's called the Genius Action Planner. And if you want to dominate 2023, you want to reach your goals and you want to achieve at a high level, this tool will help you do it, because what it is created to do is help you think through your goals and help you think through what you want to accomplish in 2023. And something special I'm doing for the first 35 individuals that invest in it, I'm going to host a special masterclass and walk you through how to beast out this action planner. So simply go to drwillspeaks.com/planner, or you can look inside the group. There's a post about it and it has the link. But once again, drwillspeaks.com/planner. Get your planner and let's plan to have a dominant 2023. So this Monday, I want to talk to you guys about letting go. And when I talk about letting go, I want to talk to you about letting go of situations that are stopping you from becoming your best self. Letting go of situations. And many times when I coach with people and I consult with people, they're carrying a whole lot of baggage from their past. They're carrying a whole lot of baggage from their past that they're refusing to let go. And I was reading this scripture, this story in the Bible, and I just want to share it with you real quick. Many of you, if you read the Bible, you're going to be familiar with the story of Joseph and his brothers. And the story goes that Joseph has this dream. And in this dream, he tells his family about this dream, about them bowing down to him. His brothers become envious, they become jealous, and they get mischievous. And what they do is they go and they literally kidnap Joseph, their younger brother. They end up selling their brother off to a Pharaoh and his people, and they go back to their father, who is Jacob, and they tell Jacob that they take these bloody garments to their father Jacob, and they make it seem as though Joseph had got attacked by some wild animal or something and was killed. But here's the point that I want to pick up when we talk about letting go and how we choose to hold on to things. I just want to read this to you. And so this is what it says in Genesis chapter 37, verse 34. It says, "Then Jacob tore his clothes. He put on sackcloth and mourned for his son many days." Now, the Bible talks about there's a time to be sad. There's a time to mourn. There's a space and time where you should mourn. Mourning is healthy. But here it says he did it for many days. There's a time when mourning becomes unhealthy. There's a time when holding on to past hurts and holding on to mistreatment becomes unhealthy. Listen to what it says. "And all his sons and daughters came to comfort him." But here's the key thing right here. It says, "But Jacob refused to be comforted." Now I want you guys to listen to this. So he has his mourning period. The Bible says that he mourned many days. Then it said he had people that would come and support him. His family came and his sons and his daughters came to support him. Now look at that. He has one son that he is assuming to be dead, but he has all his other children still there with him. I want you guys to catch something. He has all his other children there that he could be pouring out love on, that he can now double down on how he's going to love them because he now knows the pain of missing a child. So you would think that he would double down on loving them, but he turns his back in essence on them and literally decides to stop living. Listen to what it says. His sons and his daughters came to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted and said, "No, I will continue to mourn until I join my son in the grave." Listen to that. He says, "No, I don't want to be comforted. I don't want to move on in life. I don't want to continue with life. I don't want to see the bigger picture here. I'm going to stop in this moment." And sadly, so many people have experienced things in life, and because they're not willing to let it go, that's where life stops for them. That's where life stops for them because they made a choice. You may have some people in your life that you've been trying to encourage, get to the next level, but they're refusing to be encouraged. They're refusing to let go. "Well, you don't understand. My mom didn't love me. You don't understand. I didn't have my father in my life. You don't understand that I grew up in poverty. You don't understand that I made a mistake. You don't understand I did this and I did that and I did this and the third." They're refusing to move forward. So you personally, for yourself, you got to recognize this in yourself if you're doing this to yourself, but you also got to recognize people in your life that you're trying to give energy to, but they're refusing. They're refusing your help. They're refusing to think differently. You got to be cognizant of that as well. So notice what it says. So he said, "I will continue to mourn." Some people want to have a pity party. Some people just want to feel bad for themselves. Some people just want to make excuses. You may be that person, and you need to recognize that, because this is what it says in the next verse. Meanwhile, now let's connect this. While Jacob is refusing help, while he's refusing to be comforted, while he's made the choice, he says, "I will continue to mourn until I join my son in the grave." But the next verse says, meanwhile, the Midianites sold Joseph in Egypt to Potiphar. Now notice, Jacob believes that Joseph is dead, but meanwhile, Joseph is still alive. Make that connection. Jacob thinks Joseph is dead, but it says, meanwhile, Joseph is alive. And that's what's happening. Listen, you may have had something go wrong in your life, but guess what? Meanwhile, life is still going on. Life is still going on. So how do we get over this, Dr. Will? You got to decide today, November the 28th, as we go and close out this year and go into another year, you got to ask yourself today, the thoughts that I'm having, is it helping me present tense, or is it hindering me present tense? And let me give you guys this tool. When we think about our past, I want to give you this tool to empower you. When we think about our past, you need to understand that you create the past. What do you mean by that, Dr. Will? I create the past. Whatever's happened to you in your past, in the present, you create the story of the past. See, I wasn't in the past with you. I wasn't there. So when you're conversating with me today, you create the past. You generate and create the story of the past. Give you an example. If you got a divorce, when you're talking to me present day about your divorce, either you can tell me it was the most horrible day in my life, or you can tell me that's when the day I realized that things in my life needed to change and I was going to start thinking about me. See, we make up the past. The past is made up. And you need to ask yourself, is the way I think about the past empowering me or is it hindering me? Is it helping me or hindering me? You get to ask yourself, the way that I'm shaping that story, the way that I'm telling that story. See, for me, I didn't grow up with my father. So I can continue to mourn the fact that I didn't grow up with my father, or in the present, I can say, because I didn't grow up with my father and I know the impact that that had on me, I'm going to make sure that I show up for my kids. So instead of mourning, there was a time that I mourned not having my father in my life. There was a time. And those were real feelings and those were real events. But then it comes a time in life where you have to say, the way I think about that situation is not helping me today. The way I think about that situation, see, me complaining about not having a father growing up is not going to help me as a 46-year-old man. That's not going to help me. That's not helping me be a better will today if I continue to use it as a crutch. See, Jacob said, I refuse to be comforted. He says, I will continue to mourn until I join my son in the grave. And I can't remember how old Jacob was at this point, but he said, however old he was until the day he died. I don't know if he had 20 more years, 30 more years, but he decided that day, man, I'm not going to live anymore. I'm stopping right there. How many of you have stopped living? You're existing, but you stopped living. You're here, but you're not living. And so my challenge for you today, Genius Nation, is to let it go. Anything that's not empowering your present, anything that's not helping you in your present, let it go. That story you continue to mourn about, that story you continue to tell, you need to reshape it. So that story, you need to rewrite that story. So that historical account empowers you and not diminishes you. Because you got a whole lot of life to live. There's a whole lot of opportunities out there that you're going to miss if you continue to mourn. There's a lot of opportunities you're going to miss if you refuse to be comforted. There's a lot of opportunities you're going to miss if you say, from this day forward, I'm not moving forward. I'm stuck right here. So my challenge for you is to let it go. All right, Genius Nation, let's go out there and have an amazing day. Like I always tell you, go out there and dominate. I'll see you right back here tomorrow inside the nation. Let's go dominate, nation.